Hi, this is Subathra Mylsamy, partner at AK Mylsamy and Associates. Welcome back. So today's video is going to be on yet another very useful act, the Consumer Protection Act, and we are going to dwell in detail how we can make the best possibility of using this act. So in order to protect the consumers from any kind of fraud and other specific unfair activities, certain consumer rights are established under the Consumer Protection Act. Now, this law as such, it safeguards consumer rights in its manufacturing processes as well as for distributors or for traders who engage in unethical business practices. So the Consumer Protection Act of 2019 came into effect, replacing the old Act of 1986. Now, this new act introduced the concept of the online filing of complaints as well as the mediation proceedings for the speedy and effective disposal of consumer cases. Now, let us see who is a consumer. So, a consumer is defined as a person who either purchases the goods or receives or hires for any kind of services which is for a consideration which has been paid. Either they have promised to pay, or it is partially paid and partially promised, or it is under any delayed payment arrangement. Now, it also includes all online consumers wherein the purchases are made through the electronic medium. But please note, it does not include any person who obtains any goods or avails any kind of services for any commercial purpose or for any resale. Next is, what are the consumer rights which are available under this act? See, it is extremely important for us to know our rights even though we keep purchasing goods left, right and center. So now the first important right is the right to be protected against any kind of marketing of those goods or the products or their services which are very hazardous to the life or to the property. Second, the right also to be informed about the quality of the goods, the quantity, the potency, the purity, its standard, the price of the goods as well as the products or services. So it is a must that every packaging or the service which they are going to give must have these details on the products. And also the right to be assured wherever possible to access to a variety of either the goods or the products or services at a very competitive pricing. Then the most important aspect, the right to be heard in a dispute and the right to seek for any kind of redressal which is against any unfair trade practice, and also to the right to consumer awareness. Next is, what constitutes an unfair trade practice under this act? So any kind of manufacturing of any spurious goods or providing any defective services, falsely representing the place of origin of the goods, the quality, the condition of the product, which is also misleading on the information on the warranty of the product, and refusing to even take back or withdraw the goods or services which are defective, and non-refunding of this for the consideration for which you have either bought the goods or for the services, and not issuing any kind of cash memos or the bills for the goods which you have purchased or the services as well. Now, who can file these complaints? So any consumer to whom the goods or services has been provided. It can be also the group of consumers who are having similar interest in the matter. It can be consumer associations, it can be the state government or the central government or the central authority, which is nothing but the Consumer Disputes Redressal Commissions on suo motu. If it is going to be a minor, it is usually the legal guardian. Now this complaint can be filed against the respective central authority. As I told you before, it is the Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, which has been designated at each district where the cause of action has aroused, or it can be the opposite party where carries on the business or where the consumer resides. Now, what is the mechanism to file this complaint? So, step 1. So first thing is to send a notice. So before filing of any of the complaints, it is always advisable for the consumer to issue a notice to the opposite party, highlighting the defects or the deficiencies in the goods or the services which has been provided. And if the parties don't agree to come to a mutual understanding, then the complaint can be filed before the compliant authorities in the appropriate jurisdictions. Step 2. Now the complaint has to be before the district commission and it has to be filed within 2 years from the date of the dispute. So any value of the goods or the services which has been availed, if the amount is not exceeding 50 lakhs, then it has to be filed with the district commission. Now if the value exceeds rupees 50 lakhs to 2 crores, then it goes to the state commission, and any amount which is exceeding 2 crores will be referred to the national commission. Let's see what is the procedure to file for complaints through online mechanism. Now the consumers can also register, as we said, the complaints on the government website, and we can also register the complaints through the mobile apps, namely the NCH, which is called as the National Consumer Helpline app, the Umang app or the Consumer app. So all the necessary details which have to be filled along with the required documents and the fees to be paid is all online. And of course, with the help of the unique identification number which you will receive after you file the complaint, you can track the status at any point of time. The concept of product liability has been introduced in the 2019 Act, which is very, very important and interesting. So here any consumer can file against a product manufacturer or for any kind of product service provider or product seller and make them completely liable for any kind of negligence on their part, either during having any kind of manufacturing defects or if there is any kind of faultiness or imperfect services, either on products, even on assembling or installation aspects as well. And you should also note that when there is any kind of negligence which is on the part of the consumer, and despite any kind of warnings or disclaimers which have been given by these manufacturer or the sellers, then no consumers can complain on the same. So a very important feature of this act is that it enables the consumers to opt for mediation as well as alternative dispute resolution mechanisms for all kind of speedy and effective settlement of consumer disputes. So to conclude and to summarize, I would like to say that the Consumer Protection Act is a very effective act and it must be used effectively by all consumers, and the courts are very serious about these grievances which are being filed, and a lot of cases get disposed of in a very quick manner. So the new act has brought in several features to address the grievances, and also it facilitates even for seeking video conferences hearings by the commission, providing convenient means for consumers to voice their grievances. And it is also a very cost effective and easy measure to file your complaints as well as compared to the other litigation forums, and it also helps the consumers to know our rights, and we should never ever hesitate to raise a voice against any kind of grievances. I hope this piece of information would have been useful for you all. So thank you so much for watching my video. See you next time. Bye.